meditate on this. The subconscious mind is like a black hole. It's a vacuum. It pulls in everything that crosses its path. The portals or gateways to the subconscious mind exist on the human body, in the human body. Some of them are called ears, some of them are called eyes. And you can receive certain signals and things and messages, etc., through these senses, through these tools for senses, sight, hearing, etc. But no matter what you do, no matter what you put in front of your ears, no matter what you put in front of your eyes, just understand that the subconscious mind is going to receive that, and it's going to be embedded within you in perpetuity. It's going to be with you forever. And the people in power know this. The ruling class know this, and they do a damn good job of putting things in there that are not going to lead to quality of thought. It's important that you take control of this and try to embed things with high quality of thought into your subconscious mind, so that when they come back to the surface, when they come back, they pop out on the other side, they're fruitful. The things that are good for you, things that lead to quality of thought. So try to embed good things in your subconscious mind. Now that we know we have to program the subconscious mind, do that consciously, the next question becomes, with what? I believe we need to start with music. Music is very natural. Everybody loves music. They're even treating dementia with music, because music can take you to the past, bring you to memories, the vibe. Everything is just seems to come into focus clearly. It's easily visualized when you put music and have a soundtrack to your life. And so what type of music do we listen to? You know, it's part of our daily ritual. It's part of our daily dealings in programming the subconscious mind. The type of music we listen to is very important. And think about quality of thought. Is your music going to nurture the idea of quality of thought? Or is it ratchet? Is it supremely ghetto? Is it trash? Or is it breathing life into you? Right? It's the difference between listening to, something that's promoting death as to something that's promoting life. Looking at some of the neurological effects that happen when you listen to certain types of music, nourishing the brain with that type of music. The TV shows you watch, the movies you watch. What type of shows do you watch, and how are you inspired by them? What are the images that are being implanted in your subconscious mind from the movies and TV and the media that you watch, from the things you watch on YouTube, etc., etc.? If you look at one of those controversial stories about TikTok, I said that Chinese people, or the Chinese Communist Party, whatever, has a different algorithm than the one for the Western nations. The one in the Western nations, the kids are watching videos that go viral, doing pranks and all types of silly stuff. And China's algorithm is showing kids completing puzzles and doing math. These are the things they're promoting because they understand the programming of the subconscious mind is very important for the future of your people and where they're going. So with that same concept in mind, what type of media are you always being influenced by? What type of media do you constantly force yourself to be influenced by? What if we saw images of love all the time instead of images of destruction, war, etc., etc.?
What type of media is Hotep Jesus influenced by?
I like the old stuff. I like the classics. Mostly written work, literature. That's the type of stuff I listen to. I listen to a lot of lectures. One of my favorite lecturers is John Henrik Clarke, Dr. Kaba Kamene. Those are like two of my faves. I like listening to scholarly work, scholarly teachers. I go to bed to to chess videos, but I also need some gangster in my life. You know, I'm not perfect, but I need some, you know, I need some cartel gang member, you know, type programming. This is, you know, that's the stuff I happen to like. You know, I like violent movies. I like heists. I like heist movies, like The Italian Job and Ocean's 11 and, you know, those types of things. I like military movies. Like, I thought the new Top Gun was amazing. But I also try to be conscious of what I'm seeing, and so, you know, what's clear is we're gonna come across some content that is not going to nurture quality or high quality of thought. So what we have to do is we have to wrap this stuff with labels. So what you can do is when an image appears before your subconscious mind, what we can do is we can frame it. So when it gets embedded and it gets stored within your mental hard drive, it's filed in a folder, you know, marked bad, marked good, marked to question, marked, you know, you can label these things. So sometimes when things come into our subconscious mind, we don't frame it, we don't put a label on it. I think we have to say, okay, if I'm watching a movie and they're murdering people, let's say for instance, as we're watching this, we got to label that bad. This is bad. This is no bueno, right? And even some labels that your personal opinion might weigh in on, and how you manage this stuff logically. So even though everything's going to be received by your subconscious mind, and some things you may enjoy, some pieces of content you may enjoy, it's very important to frame that stuff and label that stuff. So when it gets into your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind knows, okay, this is this and this is that. So it knows clear difference. It's not just sitting there to be sprouted later on in the wrong manner or intent. What is your receptivity? Are you receiving the signals, or are you only transmitting them? You have to tune your inner radio to receive messages, not only send them. Sometimes we get caught up with our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is constantly sending signals out to the universe, to God, to friends, family, etc., etc. But sometimes you have to reset yourself and come back to zero and just say, I'm not intending to send any messages, I'm intending to receive them. I call it no mind. I've spoken about this in the past. I want to open up the mind, enter a state of receptivity, to receive the signals, to be imbued by God. Messages, prescient visualizations, to be omniscient. All these things are made possible by entering a receptive state, by dismissing the world and all of its physicalness, dismissing the world.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there, you understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Y'all out here getting freaky in the movie theaters? What, we 15 again? Grift Report starts now.
2, 1, boom.
Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus? The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, "What do you think you are? Some kind of Hotep Jesus?"
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Grift Report. I am your host, Hotep Jesus, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Welcome all. Funny how a title can remove ads quicker than a cold. What y'all think about a new thumbnail today? I might have to hire that guy to do my thumbnails now. That might have to be the thing. I might have to hire him to do my thumbnails. That was fantastic work. Fantastic work. Y'all like the new thumbnail? Kid you not, I did it to a 43-year-old. She tried to get freaky in a movie theater. What? Really? She initiated it? Yo, women freaky, yo. If it's one thing we gonna talk about today, it's the fact that women be getting freaky. They try to say it's men. Bruh, listen. Women on some other shit. We got a lot in the grift bag. Mostly because, well, do we have a lot in the grift bag? Hold on, let me take a look. Because we had a house hearing this week and hold on. We got some big brain content today too. You know we was gonna have a little something big brain. Oh, let me add this to the grift bag just in case y'all need to see that. I might need to watch that again for my own purposes, for research purposes. I want to just watch that clip one more time. What a wild week. All right, let's see what we got in the bag. What do we have in here? Oh, there's so much to catch up on. There's so much to catch up on because we didn't get to a lot this week. So, hold on, let me clean out some of the other stuff in here. Oh, damn, somebody set their account private so we can't view that video. Oh, yeah. So they lit into this SJW's ass this week. There was a black SJW on a timeline complaining about, I wish she didn't block her. Yo, who got a screenshot? Let me see. I'm checking the thread now for the screenshot. Telling you right now, these SJWs, time is up. Black SJW, when I tell you, see, this is why I was saying before. I was telling white conservatives, as much as possible, that you cannot conflate black SJWism with black Twitter because those two things are not synonymous. And they think they are. They think that black Twitter is the SJW shit. And it's not. And I said this before. So what happened was black Twitter had a bunch of superstars. Cooley Bravo came out to Hotep Con. He's one of them. So black Twitter had a bunch of superstars. And under the old administration, once things started moving towards the SJW stuff, black Twitter was getting banned. Like Cooley Bravo lost his account. He had to create a new one. A lot of people lost their accounts under the previous administration. So the SJW voices were drowning out black Twitter. Elon's come back and black Twitter is now beginning to flourish again, right? So the shenanigans started up. So now you're seeing a lot more pushback against the black SJWs. So one of these black SJWs was talking about how it's white privilege that white women can eat certain foods and not get fat. Or I wish I had it, but she has since set her account to private because she made these comments and black Twitter was like, yo, shut your dumb ass up. I'm always complaining about white folks, and comparing black. And I'll show you the tweet right here. I'll show you the response from Erica Lachey. Erica Lachey is a huge voice in black Twitter. Huge, huge, huge voice. And a very conservative one, I would say at that. So let's go ahead and put her her tweet on the screen. Hold on a second. Take a look at this. So Erica says, you know I hate when the lines don't line. Hold on. All right. So Erica Lachey said, she said, if the white girls can poison themselves slowly without scrutiny, damn it, we should have every right to do the same. This is what being obsessed over white people looks like. And this is the point that I made when I talked about, like, what is white supremacy? White supremacy is the preoccupation with white people in the mind of these black SJWs. So she's basically saying, oh, black people can eat, but they're scrutinized more than white people. And it's just like, no, just clean up your diet. Like, everybody needs to clean up their diet. Like, what do you complain about white people for? Now, I will say black people are genetically predisposed. And this is the problem with being black, you know. See, being black comes with some superpowers, right? But to whom much is given, much is tested. Now, I'm getting into a little bit of a scientific topic at this point, but and please do not take what I'm saying because I'm extremely paraphrasing from research I've done years ago and lectures I listened to, but carbon binds things, right? Carbon binds things, and melanin being a carbon molecule, and we are selenium based in our melanin. White people are sulfur based. Well, not based, but that's the difference. White people's melanin is made with sulfur, and ours is made. Black people's melanin is made with selenium. Well, what they're saying is that black people are genetically predisposed to be more addicted to things, right? So sugar, crack, cocaine, cigarettes. Whereas white people are able to shed these things much easier because it doesn't bind to their molecules. Now, I don't know how much truth there is in that. That's just something I've heard before. Now, I heard there's something else, too, from a national champion swimmer, NCAA champ swimmer, who's black. And he basically told me that the bone density for black people is heavier, which is why white people dominate swimming, because they float easier, because they have a lesser bone density. So there are biological differences between black and white people, and it comes with, you know, pluses and minuses. We can jump higher and all this other shit, you know, but we ain't gonna be able to swim as good because they can float better. Take what you want with that. So when it comes to diet, here's why, you know, black people are affected more. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that, but at the end of the day, what that means is if we put better stuff in our bodies, we should be genetically superior in some ways. We just choose not to, right? So, but you can't complain to white people about that. Oh my God, white people don't get judged like we do. Well, stop eating fucking Twinkies, you big bitch. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's go back. Let's play something wholesome. Let's go to wholesome. Can anybody tell me, for $10 worth of Syscoin, I'll send it to you right now. $10 worth of Syscoin, I'll send it to you right now. Who can tell me what the great black grifting is made out of? Who can tell me before we play this next clip? Lil Slick said, now I know HJ lying. Black pro swimmer? Come on. Yo, I'm telling you. He might be watching this stream. His name is Dax Hill. His name is Dax Hill, and he was an NCAA champ. Phil the Kill says, sounds like BS to me. They bones float more. I'm telling you, Dax told me this. This is a black swimmer. Maybe I can find an article from, hold on, let me see if we can find an article. Dax Hill, NCAA champ. Let's see. Yup, found it. Here it go. I'm about to show it to you. He follows his channel. He follows his channel. Hold on. Let me let the ads run. And I'm going to play you this. I'm going to show you who Dax Hill is. This is well documented swimmer. And I'll put it on the screen. in just a jiffy here. Let's go here. Go here. 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 So here it is. There he is.
Look at them, you realize they are athletes. When you first meet Dax, you know he's good at something. In fact, you think he probably is great at something or some things. And the more you get to know him, you learn that he is great at swimming up and down a pool, obviously, but athletically he's multi-talented, but also he's great with people. He's great as a leader. So when he first walked in as a freshman, I didn't know that all of those things were going to come true, but I did know he was going to be really, really good at something, and I'm happy to say that's swimming.
Went to Indiana here, Auburn, Georgia, and USC, and I really like the team aspect of, you know, being on a good NCAA team. In basketball, our school, we were okay. In swimming, we were okay. But we never had like 40 guys who were.
There it is right there. There it go right there. That's him. You know what I'm saying? Let me Google it. Black people's bone density. Bone density, black versus white. Let me see here. Bone density, black versus white. Let's see. Boom, found it. Data from the study of osteoporotic fractures and Baltimore Men's Osteoporosis study showed that in both sexes, blacks have a higher adjusted bone mineral density than whites, and a slower age-adjusted annual rate of decline in bone mineral density. We age slower. It's right there. This is like scientific fact. You know what I'm saying? There you go. And this is where the conversation of genetic superiority comes from, right? Like where people, or you'll have some extreme right hoteps. Oh, black people are superior. I don't know about all of that stuff, but science says a lot about the black body that is, you know, contrasted to other races is pretty fucking resilient. The ability to call out our own side is what the left wing doesn't possess. Shame on Boebert. I really liked her and she's sexy as fuck. Not a good look for the GOP. We're going to talk about Boebert. Black don't crack comes from science. All right, so what does the great black grifting consist of? Does anybody know? Hotep Goldstein says it's because we're from here. Uh-oh, here we go. Here come the Yakub stories. Here come the Yakub stories. I don't get involved in that stuff. You know what I mean? Candace said, that's why I look like I'm 25. There you go. Hotep. I tell people how old I am. They're like, what? Really? The only thing that gives me away is my grays. My grays. And I got to get rid of those soon. I'm going to do something about that. All right. I got a video I want to play for you. Nobody got the answer. So I'm going to show you what if you want to make great content, really great content, what you have to do is you have to take two extremes, right? And put them together. Take two extremes, right? That's why in some movies you'll have like fat and skinny work together, you know, right? Quiet and loud. You even see that with your friend groups, right? It's like one quiet person hangs out with the loud person. The bad bitches hang out with the fat bitches. It's very interesting how life creates this duality. So let's go to the clip. This is how you make premium content. Take two extremes and put them together. And the great black grifting, let me just check one more time to make sure nobody said the answer. In order to make a mixture of the great black grifting, you need black and white and put them together, but it has to be ghetto black and super white. Let's see.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
What's up with it?
You ready to ride Amish style?
You said Amish style?
Yeah.
I see you got your little 32s on there, you know what I'm talking about? Ooh.
We have disc brakes. There's air shock. It's full. Yeah.
I'm with it, I'm with it, I'm with it. Got my feet up in my Amish bucket, and we sliding. So you like the OG in the neighborhood that when Ernie something, the OG in the neighborhood?
Gee.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
$15,000 for a new buggy.
For 15 bands for a buggy?
Yep.
And all you get is this? You don't even get no music on.
You gotta sing.
I'm not sure if y'all familiar with this guy, Weird Al. I can show you a video and you'll watch it.
Video?
I don't want to get you in trouble.
What's a video?
Oh, you can't touch it, huh?
Oh, I can't even look at it.
All right, close your eyes.
As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain. But that's just perfect for an Amish like me. You know I shun fancy things like electricity.
You ready to milk some cows?
Hell no.
Why not?
That's what we're not doing. No. Hell no, this ain't it. This ain't the kind of place you going to with your J's on, Mama. I'm sorry.
You don't have to go far. It's just hay. It's not dirty. I promise.
All right. I'm smelling feed, cow.
You'll be fine.
I ain't ready to. I ain't ready to. All right, go, go. All them cows right there. Yeah, that's where we getting.
They get 8 to 10 gallons of milk a day.
So there's hella milk in them cows then. Come and show me you get something out of it.
Oh, no, I'm not milking the cows. This is how you get around.
That's electricity.
It's wireless.
It's wireless.
Got these new LED lights.
Man, you know what? Y'all Amish people think y'all slick, man. You know what? Y'all be cutting corners. Oh. And you said you got to do that until 5 gallons come out of there?
Per milking.
So if you pull one of them, that's it's all pulling from the
same.
same.
All at the same time.
All 4 of them? How the you do? How many hands you got, baby? It's time to get out of here. It's time to go.
All right, we'll go this way.
We can get back in the buggy, though.
Get back in the buggy and get some fresh air.
See, Weird Al Yankovic didn't put me on like I needed to be put on.
Oh, there goes the hoop.
Oh. Hey, do we got a flat? Hey, we gotta call an Amish tow truck.
You gotta call an Amish tow truck. So, what's the moral of the story? You want great content, you need one ghetto black and one super white person, or groups of both. And you mix those two and you have content that works for days, years, months, decades, centuries maybe. This is a formula that Just Pearly Things cracked when she used to do her reactions to rap videos or something like that. She talked about that in our interview. This is a formula she cracked. She said, super white girl doing black things, super white girl with black people. This is something that she tapped into. This is what the great black grifting is made out of. Now, this is the wholesome side of it, and then there's the negative side that we see every day on the timeline where people arguing about racism and black people are violent and all that shit, right? Oh my God, it was a hate crime, all that dumb shit, right? And then they get all the, 1,000, 10,000 reposts and shit because some white people got beat up by some black folks. And then the other side of the aisle, the police officer shoots a black man, and again, same thing. But if it's a black man shoots a black man or a white man shoots a white man, nobody really gives a damn. So yeah, Tari, race mixing content, but it has to be ghetto, right? Yeah, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, boom, there you go. It's another great example. Ms. Niger of Joy says the Amish are the only whites with culture this side of the pond. This is facts. This is facts. In fact, the Amish are the only true conservatives in America. Believe that. I think Chad said that. Believe that. All right, let's get into our story today, and then we'll go into some of the other stuff I got in the Grift bag. Lauren Boebert went to the movies. Let's put this up on the screen. Hold on. Am I allowed to play this on YouTube? Is YouTube gonna censor me? Did y'all see the video? Y'all probably seen the video. I don't gotta play the video, all right? Let's just go to the article. Hold on. I got 2 articles on this Lauren Boebert thing I want to take a look at. Just a couple of excerpts. Nothing, we're not diving too deep. We're not going to be reading the whole thing or anything like that. It's not that important, right? But mostly I want to talk about people's reaction, specifically Meghan McCain. Because I Googled this story, Meghan McCain came up, right? So I'm like, what the hell Meghan McCain got to say? Was she mad because nobody want her big ass? And then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it after. So Meghan says Lauren Boebert is trash. Wow. Damn. She lectures everyone about the LGBT community being a threat to children while getting caught performing a lewd sex act in a public theater where children possibly were. This is family values, ? This is why people think the GOP are all hypocrites. Now, let's break this down. First of all, is Lauren Boebert trash? I don't think so. Maybe she's white trash. I don't know. I wouldn't call her trash. I would refrain from calling her that. But then she mentioned, what Lauren tweets about the LGBT community. And I'll give her like a half a point for this because I'm sick and tired of people complaining about the trans shit and seeing the trans shit on the timeline. The shit's disgusting, which is why I'm partly, biased in saying, like, I don't want to hear about what the fuck these people are doing out in California in these drag shows. I'm dragged the fuck out, pause. So I'm sick and tired of people. Like, it's like people wake up and they're like, oh, we should talk about gay people today. And it's just like every day we're going to grift off of gay people. Like, I'm just tired of it. Every day they're grifting off of gay people. Oh, look at this. Another drag. You are complicit. Once you share the drag queen story out, you are not complicit. You're sharing this nasty ass material. Stop doing that. It's over. So, I got to take away points from Lauren from continuously grifting on this. And I think there's a way to do it to expose it and talk about it as opposed to just, the blanket, banal grifting, right? And then she says, lewd sex act in public with children. Now, it's a little risque, to be doing, sexual stuff in a theater. I don't know what American culture says is right or wrong. I really don't know. I don't know what Americans want from America. I just know we are the ghetto of the world. And, we're like the Las Vegas of America, of the planet. America's the Las Vegas of the planet. So, damn near anything goes. I don't even know what we're supposed to be mad about here. I really don't know. I'm not mad. She was, getting groped on and she's groping, her boyfriend. We're going to talk about her boyfriend next because that's really the issue. The issue is her boyfriend. That's the issue. It's not what they did in the theater. Now, she was vaping. Yeah, the fact that she was vaping in the theater isn't the problem. The fact that she was vaping at all is the problem. We vaping, baby? Come on, Lauren, we got to do better. Who gave this beautiful queen the vape? We don't do vape, Lauren. We either smoke cigarettes or we smoking a joint. We not doing these electronic devices and all of that. We not doing that. That stuff is not cool at all. It's not healthy, and the long-term ramifications of those things are terrible. I tried that whole vape thing with the weed. It was like giving me headaches and shit like that. I'm like, no, I can't do this stuff no more. Because I thought, hey, I don't want it to smell. And so, somebody gave me a pen. That's what they call them, right? Like a little weed pen. They gave me a weed pen. And I tried a couple out. And yeah, like, did not enjoy it. There was something definitely wrong there. So I go back, just give me the natural plan. I'm going to burn it, put some light to it, smoke it, put that smoke in my lungs. But we're not doing vape, Lauren. Definitely not doing vape. It's a little tacky to do vape in public. In the theater? Y'all couldn't wait. I think vaping in public was worse than the lewd act in public. The vaping to me was more deplorable. Like you just vaping and just blowing that stuff all in the theater. Like there's no discretion. Like that's not gonna be noticed. Because if she wasn't vaping, she wouldn't have got caught doing the OnlyFans thing inside the theater. You know, she wouldn't have got caught doing the whole little, you know, jerky motion with her man. Now I will say nobody's body parts came out of their clothes, so you know it's not that bad. And the theater's dark. The theater's dark, so you know. Matter of fact, I want to show you the footage really fast, mostly because, okay, so look at this. Look at this. This is the image here, right? Isn't this like one of those cameras that what do you call it? Night vision? It's got some sort of night vision on these cameras, right? Let me bring Lauren's beautiful face back up. All right. So it's got like night vision. First of all, I'm asking who the hell is filming her? Well, they said it was CCTV footage, right? But who the hell went in the footage, clipped it, and then sold it to TMZ or whoever got this footage? That was savage. That was savage. That y'all just put her business all out there like that. But again, I'm not mad at the, you know, the little sex act and all of that, you know. Maybe they just got a little horny. Maybe they was a little drunk, you know. But it's a dark theater. Like, nobody really looking at the person next to him, you know. And they seem to be a bit discreet. Now, I will say, he was wilding. And he's weird, too. Like, the way he was filling up her titty. Like, bro, like, you don't even know how to be... You don't know how to fill a titty discreetly? He all reaching across. You don't reach across your body to grab a titty in the movie theater. What you do is the arm goes around her shoulder. Now I'm here teaching y'all how to grab a woman titty in the theater. You reach the arm around, and then you got your arm around her. She leans in. You pull her in. You know, and if you get a little bit of, you know, you squeeze the orange a little bit. Hey, you know, whatever. As long as it's consensual, it's cool. But reaching across is just really, this is just extremely super horny. Nobody should be this horny in a movie theater. I think they said this was a musical or something like that. Now, musicals are fucking boring as shit, so I understand why they went to, you know, these lengths. And Meghan McCain said there was kids around. Well, was it kids around or was it not? You know, I ain't seen no kids in the video. You know, either way, it's inappropriate. It's even more inappropriate if kids are around. But this is, look at his hand. This is just levels of inappropriate. You don't reach across your body to grab the titty. What is we doing? Who raised this guy? Who raised him? How dark is it actually in the theater? It's probably pretty dark. Now let's go to him. Let's pull him up. Let's go to him, because this is my problem with the whole situation. It's him, right? So her boyfriend, it says, let me make sure you can see that. Okay, good. Lauren Boebert's mystery man is a Democrat who owns a Colorado bar. Now, I'm not even mad that he's a Democrat, because, you know, being like, for example, if something happened to me, or if I got arrested or something like that, they would say Democrat Hotep Jesus, because technically I'm registered as a Democrat. My mama handled my paperwork when I was 18 years old. She made sure I was a Democrat. So technically I'm a Democrat. On paper, I'm a Democrat, right? I haven't gone and registered and changed that, but I do plan on doing that in this upcoming election. You know, I'm going to ask Scott Pressler how to do that, because I don't even know how to do it. But I'm going to get around it to one of these days, just so anything happens, motherfuckers don't confuse me with a Democrat. So I'm not even mad that he's a Democrat, right? Although we do need more information on his political leanings before we judge. But just because somebody's a Democrat doesn't mean that they're a Democrat. Okay? And plus, you got different types of Democrats. You got racist Democrats. You got conservative Democrats. And he's out in Colorado, so... you also have Republican Democrats. You guys aware of that? Are you guys familiar with what a Republican Democrat? Because they play these like little political games where they'll register as another party just to throw the other party's election off. So there's that whole thing. You can go listen to Sonny Johnson for more on that. But let's go into so he's a Colorado native, co-owner of Hooch Craft Cocktail Bar in Aspen, right? And he opened that in 2016, right? According to Aspen Times, with his partner Pat Flanagan. Sounds like an Irishman, right? And it says the divorced father of one. Okay, so he's divorced and he got a baby mama. This is a lot of red flags here. Divorced and he got a baby mama, right? And it says family members. He's the divorced father of one apparently scandalized his Democratic-leaning family members by spending the evening with the firebrand Republican, whom he has apparently been dating for months without her knowledge. I'm sorry, without their knowledge. It's very surprising. I always thought Quinn was a cool guy and a Democrat. His parents would be horrified because they are definitely blue. What? Quinn Gallagher is his name. No relation to AG, Adam Gallagher. This is how you know Democrats are soft. Like, I don't really give a damn family member, Democrat, Republican. I don't give a damn who you date. Just make sure they're not abusing you and treating you good. That's the only thing I care about, right? They would be horrified to find out he was dating a Republican, right? Now let's go look at this dude. Here you go right here, right? Now from this image, I'm like, I can't really tell what he looks like. Then they say this is him on the right. This is him on the right. Dude look goofy as hell. No problem. No offense, but he looks goofy. Here he is on the left. Lauren got to have better taste than this. This is the scandal. Lauren has bad taste in men. She got an ex-husband or she's separated or something. She's got bad taste in men. Okay? Look at his hairline. He's got a receding hairline. All that money, he ain't got no hair plugs.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
All right, maybe I went too far on the hair plugs. But here she is looking fine. What is this? The couple slunk out of the auditorium and briefly confronted theater employees in the lobby, with Boebert in a low-cut gold dress waving her finger and making threats. Where's this footage? This is the footage we need. I want to hear her cuss him out. That's going to turn me on. Here she is again, looking fine as she can be. He look goofy, though. This dude looks like a goofball. He must have money or something. They go to X, I guess. Yeah, this her ex-husband since she filed for divorce. You know, they look like a really big guy, right? But that's the real crime here. The real crime is that she didn't go to movie theaters with Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
That's the real crime here. That Lauren Boebert didn't go to the movies with me. She didn't go to the musical with me. Or somebody comparatively as attractive as I am. This guy looks like a goofball. An absolute goofball. She's got to do better. She's got to do better. That's the real crime here. That's what we need to be mad about. The fact that Lauren has bad taste in men. I can't forgive her for that. He said, did you ask her? Oh, man. So I guess, some people are like, oh, conservatives shouldn't be acting like this in public and we're supposed to have decency. I don't know, man. She want to grab him by the crotch. Hey, I don't know if I'm canceling her for that. She want to grab her man by the crotch. Hey, so be it, man. I'm not here to judge. I don't know what's conservative and what's not conservative. I know y'all had a drag queen at CPAC. I know y'all had a... Can I pull that up? Let's go to images. I know y'all was running around here with this motherfucker. This shit ain't conservative. Let's pull this up on the screen. Let's put this up on the screen. Y'all had this motherfucker out here. Yeah, I brought this motherfucker around. Is this conservative? It's drag queen, Lady MAGA. Lady MAGA. And I still want to know why Trump had a trans person in his beauty pageant. I got to listen to the Megyn Kelly interview to find out why he did that. That is unforgivable. So I don't even know what's conservative nowadays. And, you know, conservative stuff is white people's lane. So, you know, at a certain point, I can only say but so much. Koyo said, Hotep Jesus wants himself a harem of Democrat and Republican female representatives. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what their political leanings is, because by the time I'm done with them, they're going to be Hotep.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm in. That's what I'm into. Bringing them over to the conservative lifestyle. Let's go back in the bag. Russell Brand came under fire. They trying to hit Russell Brand with the MeToo movement. Russell Brand takes to Twitter and responds, Mr. Rusty Rockets. Let's go see what Russ had to say about all of this.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack, and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff, like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of. And we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious. In the meantime, I want you to stay close, stay awake, but more important than any of that, if you can, please stay free.
Can we watch Russell speak on mute really fast? Sidebar. I feel like he's doing magic. Look at his hands. I feel like he purposely talks with his hands. Is this something I need to do? Do I need to start doing this stuff when I'm talking? Gotta do ninja chops and shit in the air and when you're talking. I gotta remember to do that. You see his hands, they're always in frame and he's always moving them. He's doing this type of thing. I gotta learn that. What is this? I feel like this is some broadcast media tricknology or something. Some broadcast media hypnotist Scott Adams magic, white man magic stuff. Because I'm trying to figure out why Russell Brand has so many viewers and what the fuck am I doing wrong? And part of it might be the hands. I know the accent plays a role, and I've been working on my British accent. But are the hands a thing? Does anybody know about this? He said it's media training. He's just British. Is that how Lil Slick said you can't pull it off? It's a white thing. Is it a white thing? Tommy Tree said, yeah, look in the body language shit. Yes, hand gestures convey things. Yeah, some old Jedi technology, man. Mental tricks. Phil the Kill said, tell my handler step up. Yeah, they definitely got to step up, man. So Russell Brand is the next one in line for, the Me Too situation. You know, I've been Me Too'd a bunch of times. I was Me Too'd online. I was Me Too'd fucking. I remember I got Me Too'd at a job because a bitch hit on me and I didn't want her. I got Me Too'd in college because I wouldn't talk to the bitch and she got mad that I wouldn't talk to her, so she Me Too'd me. I've been Me Too'd for turning down bitches. This is why I be so terrified to turn a bitch down, because every time I turn a bitch down, she Me Too's me. I'm like, I said no. I said no. I did what you're supposed to do. I said no, thank you. And you're going to Me Too me anyway? Damn, like, you know who's never had a sexually promiscuous past?
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Never. I'm way too picky. I'm way too picky in women. Like, I'm so picky in women, it's just like impossible for me to even date. It's impossible. You know, like, and I'm just not like the rest of the manosphere. The manosphere, they're like, they don't want working women. I'm like, I'll take AOC. I'll take Lauren Boebert for 90 days. 90 days is all I can do. I can only do 90 days. After 90 days, we got to cut it off. Because I'm just not into, sleeping around. I've never really been into sleeping around. My homies used to smash everything. We go out, hang out with girls. They would smash. One of my homies was smashing everything and anything. I'm like, yo, that bitch look like a horse, bro. She got a fat ass, though. I'm like, all right. You want it. I just wanted to cuddle with a pretty bitch. You know what I'm saying? Put my arm around the shoulder. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess they're canceling him now, or they're trying to cancel Russell Brand for some shit that happened in 1996 or 2006 or something like that. I guess this story is developing, but we still don't have the Epstein client list. Like the real, okay, so JP Morgan says they got all these billions of transactions from Jeffrey Epstein. Well, transactions require two entities, the sender and the receiver. Who was sending and who was receiving? Do we know? We still don't know, and y'all got all these transactions. Whose bank account did this stuff go into? JP Morgan? Let's go to that. Let's pull that up on the screen. JPM, Epstein, transactions. Look at this. Look at this. Let me show y'all this. Look at this shit. Every time somebody doesn't like somebody, they try to Me Too them because they can't argue with them. You can't argue with me. You don't like me. So, okay, so let's Me Too them instead, because you know what that does to a man's reputation. And Me Too is like one of the lowest things you can do to a man. It might be the lowest thing you could do to a man is Me Too him with like some false accusations. Mostly because it takes away from real victims, right? Because now people don't believe real victims. Anyway. It's just disgusting. We need to do something about that too. I think there needs to be, if you falsely accuse somebody, I saw a woman that was dating, I think, a football player, and she called Child Protective Services on him, and she called DV services on him, domestic violence services on him, falsely, and then admitted it recently in a podcast. you should do the time for that crime that you accuse somebody of. You should do that time. Then we had, who was the light-skinned chick in mainstream black media? She went on Breakfast Club, admitted that she's falsely accused another football player of sexual abuse. Just fucking, like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, anyway, JP Morgan Chase allegedly informed the government over $1 billion in transactions related to human trafficking by the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, dating to 2003, a lawyer for the U.S. Virgin Islands said. How do you do $1 billion in transactions related to human trafficking, but we don't know who those who's buying? But we want to cancel Russell Brand? Ain't nobody think about Russell Brand. Look at Russell Brand. He looked like a rock star. It looked like back in the day, maybe even now, it was a mall somewhere just throwing him the box. In 2006, look at him. He got the long hair. He got the rock star. He got the rock star look. He got the accent. Women was probably throwing bras at him before they was throwing bras at Drake. You think this man had to sexually assault anybody? This is an attractive British white man. Pause. He ain't need to do that. Got the long hair flowing. Got money. Got success. They try to do it to Trump. Every time somebody becomes a threat. Meanwhile, we got $1 billion worth of transactions and straight up crickets. $1 billion? $1 billion? Nobody's 99.999999% of people will never even see $1 million, let alone $1 billion. And we don't got nothing? Nothing? No, who was buying? I don't get it. I don't get it. And where's the energy? Where's the energy? Why don't people have the same energy for JP Morgan Chase that they do Russell Brand? The same energy they have for Chris Brown, the same energy they got for R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Trump, or whoever. Why y'all don't? You should have way more energy. Because R. Kelly, guilty. Bill Cosby, maybe guilty. I don't know. Because he admitted to fucking putting shit in bitches' drinks, so that's on him. But when we compare and contrast, Bill Cosby wasn't doing $1 billion worth of transactions. R. Kelly ain't never had $1 billion worth of young girls. Epstein did $1 billion. Some companies don't even, corporations don't even reach $1 billion. In valuation. Not even cash, liquid, assets, transactions, not even in valuation. Some companies don't reach $1 billion. That's considered a unicorn. You guys familiar with that? Look at this. I'm gonna show you something. Look at this. They got something called unicorn. Wait, hold on. Unicorn company, right? What does a unicorn company mean? It says right here, the term unicorn refers to a privately held startup company with a value over $1 billion. You put that on your screen so you can see it. Look at this. Right there. So when your company has $1 billion valuation, they call it a unicorn. Jeffrey Epstein had a unicorn human trafficking operation just through JP Morgan Chase. And we don't know who these transactions are made with. Hold on, let me do my Russell Brand shit. What are we supposed to do with all of this? Huh? What are we supposed to do with all of this? This makes no sense. It's $1 billion. I just can't with people. I really just can't. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. And to make matters worse, the next video we playing is from Tyler Perry. Now we got to play a Tyler Perry video. Oh my God, what a grifty Saturday. We're going to open up phone lines. If you want to get on the phone lines, text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to that number. Before we get to Tyler Perry, though. Before we get to Tyler Perry, you know what we got to do. You know what we got to do. Plug. Hey, look, you want to join my group? We got the AirDrop coming right here. SuperDAPP coming soon. If you want to get paid to use the SuperDAPP, you want to get paid to promote, you want to get paid to social media, SuperDAPP coming soon. Shout out to Syscoin. The link is in the description box below. It says access SuperDAPP AirDrop group. Hit that, it'll come to the Telegram. That part of the process literally takes 2 clicks. Once you get in the group, you got 1 more click. You'll hit the pin message and it has the instructions right there. So it's 3 clicks. Tap the link, hit accept. It'll bring you to the Telegram app if you have it downloaded. If you don't have it downloaded already, you're basically a boomer. So go download that, your boomer tech. Download the app if you haven't already. It's called Telegram. But if you have the app, it'll open up automatically, bring you to our group, hit that pinned comment, that pinned message, and it has all the instructions there on how to get paid. And, you know, make your way over to DeFi, man. DeFi is where it's at. Decentralized finance is where it's at. And I'm going to bring you in on the cutting edge. We're also teaching people crypto in this chat, bringing them the resources and talking about crypto. And this is a very important topic, especially when we talk about CBDCs. And we will be talking about CBDCs today. Yes, we will. We will definitely be talking about CBDCs today. All right, let's go to the Tyler Perry clip. Shout out to Syscoin. Appreciate you for the love. Here we go. Tyler Perry on dating. This video is very weird. It's just all types of levels of weird.
Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right?
Black women are making a lot more money than black men for the most part. Is that true? Is that true? Hold on, let's Google the stats. What do we Google to find something like that? Black women versus black men income? Is that the, because sometimes the stats will say something different than what he said, right? So let me just make sure he said what he said.
Will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most.
All right, making a lot more money. So he's talking about income, right? Okay, so let's go to the Google overlords. This is 2016. What is the average income of a black man? Okay. This is 2019. Asians kicking everybody ass. Hopefully I'm Asian in my next lifetime. Black, not Hispanic. Oh, this is by age group. I need it by gender. That's age group. Black women in the wage gap. What is this? So in 25 states, including the District of Columbia, the largest number of black women working full-time, 45 to 64 cents a dollar compared to white people. I don't want this comparison to white people. I want black men versus black women. What do I have to look up? Chat, help me out. I'm not a stats guy. I've been meaning to study that shit. You said you think it's 46K for men and 43K for women? Thank you, Kamar. See, I knew I had a genius in the chat that could help us out. Kamar is one of our in-house geniuses. Thank you, Kamar.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's saying there. But I want to try to understand people, right? Because this is something that people do often, right? They purposely misunderstand somebody, like when Kanye said slavery was a choice and everybody purposely misunderstood him. No, I want to take some time and try to really understand what he's saying here. And I think he's saying is that there are, or I should say there's an alarming rate of households where women out-earn men when compared to whites, right? So let's compare that, right? So white women and their wage gap to white men is probably bigger than black women to black men. I think black women are starting to close that gap. And I think if we, maybe even a year from now, I think black women will make more than black men. Maybe more than a year, but they catching up really fast. And that's because the white liberal man knows how to use black women. We talked about that before. So the white liberal prefers black women over black men. And that's what we know, runs corporate America is the white liberal, right? So yeah. Whew. All right, let's go back. And I want to talk about that dynamic, but let's let Tyler Perry finish.
Most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill, as long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in because that means, no, I need somebody to, they need to make 5 times more and I got to have, well, go on, keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you, hope it happens. Go on, keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make. But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing.
Now, there's a lot of husband wives out there. I've seen them at Fox. I've seen the husband wives pull up. And I got this term from one of the husband wives. He said, yeah, I'm her wife. This is what he called himself. He said, I'm her wife because she's at Fox and, Fox pays a big bag. And the husband, that's what he called himself. He said, I'm her wife. And he stays at home and he takes care of the kids. And I guess that works for some households. I guess that works for some people. Shit couldn't work for me. But I think what we're talking about here is something that's instinctual, where women want a man that earns more than them. And that's probably the ideal situation. But I think he's talking about some women who just make so much money because the white liberal is giving black women more opportunity than black men. And black women going to colleges at higher rates, which makes them more employable and likable by the white liberal, because it's like, okay, this person has been trained by us. We know they're a good worker. Whereas black men are more entrepreneurial spirited. So, entrepreneurs are not great workers. Let me just tell you right now. As an entrepreneur, I can tell you right now, we are not great workers. But college people are. And black women and women in general tend to just go to college, take orders, meet deadlines. And that's what a job requires. You shut up, sit down, and do what I tell you to do, right? So many of these black women are great at doing that. They're just not great at doing that for their husband.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Uh-oh. Shut up and sit down, woman. Take these orders, but they'll do it for the white man. They'll do it for the white man. Tell them jump. They're going to say how high. White man say dance. They're going to say what? Twerk or tap. But what he's talking about is women who are extremely high earners and the fact that they're going to have to settle for the fact that men can't compete with them, or some men can't compete with them. And good luck to them, and good riddance as well. Anyway,
listen.
But it can work. It can work. I won't say it can't work, but you got to be a manly man in order for that to work. All right, we got some. Should I go into this? No, I'm not even going to go into the rest of the videos we have in the bag. I'm going to save those for a later date. Let's get to the big brain content. I had a report come across my desk today in regards to the CBDCs. And, you know, to be honest with you, I hadn't had a chance to take a look at it. So we're going to do that now, and then I'm spend about 5-10 minutes looking over what the International Monetary Fund has published. Let's open this. Let's open this with the browser. Let's pull this up. Damn, this is oh wow, some Illuminati shit going on here. Guess how many pages are in this document? Oh, I just cheated, and you can see it on the screen right there. 33. Master number 33. Gary Ginsburg is probably elated. Okay, so they published this one. I'll show it to you here, September 15th, right? So this is a new report. They published this yesterday, right? Implications of a CBDC for monetary policy transmission. Introduction, summary, conceptual framework, design features, impact on macroeconomic environment. All right, so we want to look at impacts on macroeconomic environment and tightness of financial conditions and transmission channels of monetary policy. Ooh, regimes and CBDC designs. All right, so let's go to impact on macroeconomic environment. Okay, so right off the bat, my eyes notices the chart, right? And it says here, wait, the baseline analysis is anchored in inflation. Oh, okay. All right. They're just laying down some context there. So it says competition, higher competition for deposit funding. So this is your bank, right? Higher wholesale funding to replace deposits. Oh, interesting. So the fact that there will be less deposits means they'll hold more wholesale CBDC as collateral. Okay, I think. Lower profit margins from squeezed margins. Yes, it's going to make it less profitable to bank. Okay, yeah, bank profits. Okay. Financial inclusion. Higher if CBDC addresses barriers to inclusion. How do you even... We over here talking about macroeconomic environment. And they're talking about financial inclusion. What that got to do with economics? Oh my God, how do you just shoehorn SJWism into an economic conversation? Jesus. Dollarization versus cryptoization. That's the first time I've seen cryptoization as a word. I don't even think this word exists. I'm going to Google it. Cryptoization. It doesn't even pop up. This term doesn't even fucking exist. 5 days ago from Axios, cryptoization. Okay, 2021, cryptoization. This is some straight boomer shit. Cryptoization. What the fuck? Anyway, I would have called it cryptization. Cryptization sounds much better. Take the O out and just call it cryptization. Anyway. Lower from greater use of local currency denominated CBDC. Basically, they're saying crypto will be used less because of the CBDC, if I'm understanding that correctly. So it says here, crypto could raise competition for bank deposit funding. By virtue of offering a safe store of value and an efficient means of payment, deposits may leave banks in favor of the CBDC, leading to a decrease in deposit funding available to banks. The magnitude of its impact depends on the extent to which the CBDC is an attractive substitute for deposits. Caps on individual holdings will also limit switching from deposits to CBDC. Yikes. Yikes. It seems like they're okay. So one of the things you have to look for, the things that they have determined to be true or have pressed yes on. And it seems like they've pressed yes on caps of CBDC holding, meaning you can only have a certain amount of CBDC as an individual in order to encourage deposits in institutional banking. So you'll have some CBDC, and then what would the other currency be? I guess it would be, I'm going to just continue because I'll wait and see what they say about that because that's really confusing and weird. CBDCs could increase bank share of wholesale funding, right? We just went over that, yeah. CBDCs could lower bank profits. If banks raise deposit interest rates to compete with CBDCs, and if funding costs increase from a shift toward wholesale funding, then banks' profits will decrease to the extent that higher costs cannot be entirely passed through to higher lending rates. Yep. CBDCs could bolster financial inclusion. Although not a silver bullet, CBDCs present opportunities for improving financial inclusion and expanding access to financial services for the unbanked. CBDCs may serve as an initial entry point to a digital financial account that leads to the opening of bank accounts and credit access, especially when banks distribute CBDC in a two-tier system. The magnitude of effects depends on the extent to which CBDC addresses the barriers to financial inclusion in a given country. And here's that term, cryptoization. All right. In a dollarized or euroized economies, now keep in mind, they're talking about the Western world here. So this is the Western coin. In a dollarized or euroized economies, the introduction of a CBDC could encourage a greater use of the local currency by making it more attractive means of payment. In particular, with the rise of other forms of digital money denominated in foreign currencies, such as stablecoins, the CBDC can help prevent the local currency from being supplanted. However, CBDC would not address deeper issues driving currency substitution related to a country's monetary policy framework and central bank credibility. All right, we gotta break some of this stuff down. So, what they're talking about here is something called Gresham's Law. Let me pull that up on the screen. Gresham's Law, and this is in my book, The Patriot Report: Unmasking the Conspiracy of Money and War. So you see here it says Gresham's Law. In economics, Gresham's Law is an economic monetary principle that says bad money drives out good, right? So, when it comes to Bitcoin, and we're talking about Gresham's Law, people are wondering why Bitcoin is not money, and some people blame it on some bad actors, but economically, it would follow Gresham's Law, because why would you spend your Bitcoin? You want to spend the currency that will lose value. You want to get rid of the things that are losing value. Like if something's losing value, you want to get rid of it. But if something is rising in value or has the potential to store value, you want to keep it. You want to hoard it. So it drives it out of the economy because nobody's spending it. Nobody's putting it in the economy. So that's Gresham's Law. And that's what they're talking about here is Gresham's Law. It says, in particular, with the rise of the other forms of digital money dominated in foreign currency, such as stablecoins, a CBDC can help prevent the local currency from being supplanted. Okay, I get what they're saying here. So, yeah, that makes sense. Again, this comes back to limiting freedom, right? And protecting governments. This is what you have to understand about this paragraph here. This is not about protecting people. This is about protecting governments. And they'll say, well, if you don't do this, then it'll ruin the economy. But that's a whole nother argument for another day. But I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm in Nigeria and the Naira has shit value. But the dollar is lauded, right? Like everybody wants the dollar. So if the dollar is being transacted in USDT or USDC, right, some sort of stable coin, some stable crypto dollar, people in Nigeria will use other foreign countries' stable coins or private corporations stable coins, because these stable coins are run by private corporations and allegedly backed by said currency. So they're saying by bringing in the CBDC, but if you bring in the CBDC with, let's say you got a Naira CBDC, the Naira is still going to be the same value as that CBDC, which means they'd have to lock you down and like try and stop you from using another, because I know they're going to outlaw stable coins. That's one thing they want to get, and that's why they mention it here. They want to get rid of stable coins because that's direct competition. And I told you guys before, they're not going to ban crypto. They're coming after stable coins because that's direct competition. They're not coming after crypto. Crypto is not direct competition. And that's why they don't mention cryptocurrency in these articles. They always talk about stable coins. It says, however, CBDC would not address deeper issues driving currency substitution related to a country's monetary policy framework and central bank. Okay, so that's what I said. I'm like, yeah, technically they could still do it. But there are deeper issues that are driving currency substitution, right? And those things have to be addressed. And a lot of that has to do with, IMF funding. Anyway. All right, let's go to the next section. Okay, the central bank can act to limit the decline in bank deposits. The central bank can set or lower caps on individual CBDC holdings or discourage, such as through fees. So now they're going to charge you a fee for holding CBDC. Many speculators in the space have said this. So you're going to get a fee for your CBDC. You're holding on to CBDC too long, well, there's going to be a fee for that. And then they want to discourage convertibility from bank deposits to CBDC. So your bank deposits won't even be convertible. What the fuck? So what's the point of me holding the CBDC? Like, oh shit. Are they trying to turn the CBDC into a reserve asset? But how? Oh, okay. So turn the CBDC into a reserve asset, but then you got still you have the dollar circulating, right? Like the physical dollar. Oh, I know. I think I know what's happening here. So turn the CBDC into a reserve asset until all physical cash is gone. And they got different ways of doing that. Because first what they'll do is incentivize CBDC, then disincentivize CBDC. And this is going to happen at will. Like you're just going to wake up one day and say, hey, CBDC interest rate is now up or down. This shit is crazy. In addition, the central bank could lend the funds diverted from deposits back to banks. Wait, what? So the deposits says lend the funds diverted from deposits back to banks. Wait, what? So our CBDC would then be loaned back to the bank, and then the bank will convert those into, let's just call it X currency, and then lend it back to us. Wow, they got a sick ass game they running. Of course, they talk about financial inclusion. I don't even want to hear about that. Margin for gains. That's all inclusion. Tightness in financial conditions. Okay, so upon CBDC issuance, there will be level effects on the tightness of financial conditions from the changes of the macroeconomic environment. The introduction of a CBDC could alter deposit and lending rates, right? Changes in these interest rates affect the aggregate demand of the economy through households. See, yeah, this is true. If when the Fed changes interest rates, this does change the demand. Yes. Consumption saving decisions. Yep. And households and firms' investment decisions by way of changing the marginal cost of borrowing. Additionally, CBDCs could change the volume of deposits as well as credit provisioning, both of which also affect financial conditions. Interesante. Competition, level effect of the tightness of financial conditions. So competition goes up, tightening. Wholesale funding goes up, tightening. Bank profits, ambiguous. Financial inclusion, loosening. Wait, what the fuck? Financial inclusion goes up, and then they loosen the currency. If they dollarization versus cryptoization is ambiguous. Wow. This is like some real mental gymnastics here. Like, how do you... So you loosen... Oh, so to loosen the currency for the poor to pull them in and to control them. Yeah, that's what that is. Increased competition for bank deposit funding would tighten financial conditions. Banks will raise deposit interest rates to counteract some of the impact on their deposit bases and offset the additional liquidity value of the CBDC. Yeah. Increased wholesale funding would be... Okay, so deposit insurance and implicit government guarantees allow banks to fund themselves with deposits at a lower cost than with other instruments. External financing through wholesale funding is costly. Hence, switching away from deposits could result in higher lending rates to preserve margins. The magnitude of the effect may not be very large, though, given the amount of value deposits in most banking systems is uninsured. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, bulk of it is uninsured. I think FDIC only covers like, what was it, like $500,000 or something like that? I mean, $500 million, I think. I forget how much the FDIC has. But it's like they say the FDIC is capped, and then the FDIC runs out of money, and then they just give them more money. So I'm like, wait, I thought that's all the money they had. So basically, the FDIC has an unlimited bucket of money. This shit is just a fucking game. They just make up the rules as they go along. And it's just, this is what makes it confusing for people. This is why I do these things. So when people get confused, they don't feel bad because these people are just making up shit and they change the rules as they go along. It's a sick fucking game. Increased wholesale funding could increase market discipline, decreasing credit provision for the economy. Relatedly, discipline stems from banks facing higher costs of funding or a drop in deposits as they take more risks. Insured depositors do not impose the same level of discipline on banks. Insured depositors do not impose the same level of discipline on banks since they do not bear the consequences of the risk they undertake. Okay. Following the introduction of a CBDC, market discipline could increase as banks rely more on uninsured wholesale funding, thus shrinking lending. And then when you connect that with Basel III, it could have some weird effects too. All right, what is this? The use of alternate? No. Decrease in... All right, let's see. What are they saying about cryptoization? Decryptoization itself could loosen financial conditions. Similar to financial inclusion. This is the International Monetary Fund, people. I don't even know if you guys understand the gravity of the information that you're looking at here, but this is wild. Wild. I'm sorry, and it wasn't on the screen properly the whole time. So decryptoization itself could loosen financial conditions. Really what they're saying there is if we get rid of crypto, we don't have any competition. Similar to financial inclusion, since it could potentially lead to an increase in the supply of deposits. Basically what they're saying is if you have your money in crypto, then your money's not in the bank. This is all about the banks, okay? This is about how to save. And you got to remember, this report isn't for us. This report is for banks and people running banks. That's who this report is for. Presidents of banks and ambassadors of banks or whatever positions they got there, directors. This report is for them. So the basis is saying if you want to save your business, you want to decryptoize, decrypto the world, because if the money's in crypto, then it's not in your bank. And that's the big issue. They don't want the competition. Given that deposits are the cheapest funding source, our money, banks have room to reduce lending rates due to the decline in funding costs. On the other hand, the effects coming from de-dollarization are ambiguous because they depend on the difference in interest rates between the domestic and foreign currency. Correct. For example, if domestic interest rate is higher than a foreign one, the decline in de-dollarization leads to tightening. Correct. Again, following Gresham's law. The central bank should monitor the macroeconomic environment closely to prevent any undesired. Okay, when you talk about loosening and tightening, I'm very interested. As is the case with any other economic shock, the central bank should closely monitor the macroeconomic environment, which is relevant to monetary policy, and choose to adjust policy instruments to achieve its objectives and maintain price stability in managing economic fluctuations. If financial conditions loosen from the issuance of a CBDC, the central bank can increase the policy rate to offset the impact and communicate its rationale to the public. Yeah. All right. So control through the central bank. So this is basically giving central banks more power, which we already knew, right? Transmission channels of monetary policy. So this is talking about how you talk to, like how governments talk about this stuff I'm seeing. The section analyzes the impact of changes induced by CBDC issuance and the transmission of the transmission is set to stronger than a week over time. Interest rates, real deposit, bank lending, balance sheets, wholesale funding, asset prices. Okay, bank lending, channel, All right, we don't care about none of this. This is all standard. All right, we're almost done here. Further considerations on operations and regimes. Okay, here we go. All right, let me find it. Oh, shit. All right, so I found it. Yeah, I knew I would find something funky in this section. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything before I break down what I just saw. CBDC demand is an autonomous factor that might complicate the forecasting of liquidity necessary to optimize open market operations. So this is a socialist dream. This is a communist dream. Like when they say optimize open market operations by playing with the liquidity of the currency, it's a communist dream. Otherwise, monetary policy operations will continue largely unchanged with CBDCs. Yeah. Okay, so let me show you something. It says here, the size of the central bank balance sheet could grow considerably if the CBDC replaces deposits to a large extent. What do you think happens when a central bank's balance sheet grows? They get more power. They get more control. It's more money in their hands. It says here, central banks demand for government bonds is likely to increase to balance the increase in their CBDC liabilities. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, let's see what they say about that. While this increase is likely to have price impacts that can affect the yield curve, available evidence suggests they would be marginal. Oh, sure, they're going to be marginal. Yeah, right, sure. Naturally, in countries with much smaller government bond markets, the impact of a CBDC on the yield curve could be greater. So those small countries, yay. There would... Oh, man. Their demand for government bonds is likely to increase. I might have to do a class on government bonds one day. Maybe one day. Do you guys know how government bonds work? You guys know how government bonds work? Yes, no in the chat. Hold on, I'm checking the chatters. He said, I almost played you chess this morning, but you were jamming out on 2-1. Yeah, I was jamming out on 2-1. You saw me playing this morning? What up, Rudy? We're going to open up phone lines in about several minutes here. Yeah. All right, I'll do a bond class. So, all right. So let me just tell you what I believe, or I believe how bonds work. Because otherwise the phone lines won't get open if I don't. Because if I dive into like what, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll just do it right now. And the reason why I don't want to do it right now is because they're not going to tell you how it works in plain language. Let me see. All right, let's go. I don't want it from Treasury. I want it from Investopedia. All right, so right here. You says right here. See, it says U.S. Treasury bond overview of U.S. backed debt securities. This is all you really need to read. When I think of bonds, this is what I think of. U.S. backed debt. Now, if the U.S. has debt, how are they going to back more debt? Now, you got some dude from Wall Street that'll come in here and spit a whole bunch of fucking hedge fund knowledge at you and confuse the shit out of you just to tell you that it's some bullshit. So it says right here, T-bonds or treasury bonds. You guys can see this? Good. Okay. Are government debt securities issued by the U.S. federal government that have maturities of 20 to 30 years, right? So basically, at the end of the 20 years, the Federal Reserve can cash these in, right? Or if you have bonds, you can cash these in. I have bonds. T-bonds earn periodic interest until maturity, at which point the owner is also paid a par equal amount to the principal. So if the Fed buys bonds, right? Because they're saying this is my collateral, I'm collateralizing my debt. Who's paying the interest on the bonds? That's what I got to ask y'all now. Who's paying the interest on those bonds, right? It says treasury bonds are part of a larger category of U.S. sovereign debt, known collectively as treasuries, which are typically regarded as virtually risk-free since they are backed by the U.S. government's ability to what? It did tell us. Okay, I didn't think it was going to tell us this. It's right here. Tax its citizens. Done. I didn't think it was going to say that. I really didn't think it was going to say that. And it says that. It actually said it. We don't have to go anymore. Right here. Right here. Right here. This is our fucking system, people. This is why you watch today's stream. Treasury bonds are a part of a larger category of U.S. sovereign debt, known collectively as treasuries, which are typically regarded as virtually risk-free, since they are backed by the U.S. government's ability to tax its citizens.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
This is what I wanted to show you. I'm glad I stopped and showed that to you. I didn't think it was going to be that easy to find. That I want to. Let's go. This now. I'm gonna show you the Treasury bond link, and let's see if they mention taxpayers. We sell Treasury bonds a term of 20, 30 years. Bonds pay a fixed rate, 6 months until they mature. You can hold a bond until it matures or sell it before it matures. Does it say anything about taxpayers here? Federal tax due each year on interest earned. Da 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 da. Okay. No mention of taxpayers, right? Whoop. But when we go here, where's that link? Right here. Let's say it right there. Treasury bonds exist because we exist. Because we pay taxes. That's what treasury bonds are. So when we go back to the IMF paper, right? What does it say right here? Central banks' demand for government bonds is likely to increase to balance the increase in their CBDC liabilities. So who's offsetting the CBDC? Me and you, the taxpayer. We're paying for the scam. The Federal Reserve has zero risk. I just showed that to you. These are risk-free investments, virtually risk-free, because we the dumbasses. We the American people are the dumbasses because we want to talk about Lauren Boebert's titty getting grabbed in a theater that we don't even know how we're being screwed. Says it right there. Says it right there. Central banks demand for government bonds, right? So every time I see the term government bonds, all I think is taxpayers. That's why I wanted to stop and show it to you, because if I would have said government bonds equals taxpayer money, people would be like, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist, right? But that's literally what a treasury bond is. It's taxpayer money. That should say central banks' demand for taxpayer money is likely to increase. Central banks' demand for taxpayer money is likely to increase to cover their liabilities. So we're covering the liabilities of the central bank. This is what's happening in America.
This is a sick Negro.
We live under communism. This is why we're telling people America's a communist nation. It's just a well-functioning communist nation. But this is communism. What's the tax rate in Hotepistan? I can't tell you that yet. To each, according to their labor. Robert question mark said, that is slick as fuck. You see what I'm saying? He said, I learned some economics 101. I learned some in economics 101, but a refresher would be good. My class was like 15 years ago. Your teacher probably wouldn't even have told it to you like this. So everybody knows what a government bond is now. Treasury bonds, particularly T-bonds, right? Issued off your ass. Now I ask you, does everybody know what a treasury bond is? Fuego de Basadero said the U.S. Treasury borrows the money to pay the interest or taxes. Sometimes it happens too, yeah. Fuego de Basadero said there's all kinds of government bonds now. It gets in the weeds. Yes, correct. Also true. There are various types of government bonds. Most common is a treasury bond. Matari says, right, it's the national debt. Correct. Troublemaker Jonas said government bonds do not work. Tari said it's basically an IOU. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Actually, it's not even an IOU. It's a loan. It's a loan. It's the when you buy a treasury bond, right? You get that amount plus whatever interest, right? So it's kind of like a loan. You're basically saying, government, here's some cash to go do some shit, right? And the government says, we're going to pay you back. Here's a certificate that says it. At the end of maturity, you'll get that value par plus your interest, right? So it's basically like a glorified loan. And that's it. Like, well, wait. Regime. Hold on. Let me see what this says about the regime. So central bank stabilizes the nominal exchange rate. Aha. Stabilizes the yeah. So that's something that's going to be programmable. The exchange rate, and this comes back to being a new world order coin. Vis-a-vis an anchor country using interest rates and foreign exchange intervention, often in combination with sterilization, achieve its target. Yep. Programmable money. Yep. That's all standard. Remunerated CBDCs. Okay, this is important. Okay, so remunerated CBDCs could boost capital market development by providing a new overnight asset to financial actors. We made some new money. So it's like they're not even replacing the dollar yet. Which brings me back. I'm going to show you after we finish looking at this foreign CBDC section. Remind me to tell you about the Fabian Socialists. Foreign CBDC. There could be significant impact on monetary policy and autonomy if foreign CBDCs were available. Ah, yes. There could be a significant impact on monetary policy and autonomy if a foreign CBDC were domestically available, right? Let's say, we would start transacting in the ruble, right? Or the Yemenini, right? That would not be good. We're transacting in the Putin and the Xi Jinping Kung Pao currency and shit, right? This could be alleviated with restrictions on foreign CBDC usage. So they're going to place restrictions on how much foreign CBDC you could use, including holding and transaction caps. Oh, you got too much. You got too much. You can't have that much money. This is why I say you got to join cryptocurrency. This is why y'all got to be in the DeFi world. Because they created this partly to combat DeFi, to combat crypto. Now, some people will say crypto was created as the antithesis to the one world order coin to have an excuse to have a one world order coin. However you want to believe it, either way, they're antithetical to each other, right? If you want to deal in a one world order coin, that's mainstream. You get your titty grabbed in a movie theater, they're going to place caps and restrictions. You say the wrong thing, you tweet the wrong thing, caps and restrictions, right? Fees, taxes. Jabari's texting me. Hey, are we? 30 son of black woman who never watched college football. Oh, he said 30 plus woman texting him about the college football game tonight. Yeah, the Dion effect. Dion got women who don't even watch football watching football. This is facts. Is that game on right now? We got to hold on one second. Let me just check the score here. Oh, it's tonight. Oh, all right. So we good. All right. So again, restrictions on foreign currency. Crazy, insane. Foreign CBDCs could increase the risk of currency substitution. Correct. They scared of that. They do not like competition. CBDCs can also amplify the international spillover of shocks and increase international linkages. The issuance of a CBDC by a foreign nation can weaken monetary policy transmission and autonomy to an economically significant extent, forcing the central bank to react more strongly to the stronger international spillovers caused by the CBDC. Capital flow management measures might be warranted in this case. So one CBDC affecting another, if I read that correctly. If a domestic CBDC could be held in large quantities abroad, then the domestic central bank balance sheet could be subject to large fluctuations connected to changing external demand. Let's go to the phone lines, man. This shit is crazy, bro. This shit is absolutely crazy. Hold on a second. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. I'll be back after this short, brief commercial break.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's That's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
All right, phone line's open. Let me talk to Goldstein. Cannon's calling in. We're going to talk to Goldstein. After Goldstein, we're going to talk to Cannon. After Cannon, we're going to talk to Steph Colonel. After Steph Colonel, we're going to talk to Tari. After Tari, we're going to talk to Mr. Koofy on Too Tight, Jonah. In the meantime, hold on.
Call from
Murphy. Hey, Goldstein, what up, bro?
What's happening?
Chilling. How you, bro?
Good, you?
Chilling, man. Putting in this work on the weekend, you know. Same business as usual.
That's what's up. So, we got ourselves a bit of a fucking controversy, huh?
Oh, the Lauren Boebert shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First, I want to say this. You're working on your hand gesture game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see you working there. But don't worry about the motherfucking accent, bro. You already got one. He speaks British. You speak niggish. All right?
Oh, this
you
is
already
real
have an
Hotep, brother.
I like that.
Good.
I got an accent already.
You already got one. Not everybody can rock this shit. Look at Eminem. He looks like an idiot when he does it. Yeah.
That's a good point. Can't
But
argue
look,
with that.
on to Big Titty Boebert. Listen, this broad, bro, and I want the conservatives to listen up to this, all right? Just 3 days ago, y'all were dragging the shit out of that Democrat, Uncle Hotep's broad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, today is support at all costs looking ass motherfucker, right?
Wait, who is it? Oh, yeah. That's right. The one that had the sex tape.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to hear, well, she was on Chatterbait. That's worse. At the end of the goddamn day, what it boils down to is this. They both are on some horror shit. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
They both disappointed and betrayed their constituents. All right?
Yeah.
And they're both very highly embarrassed motherfuckers today as a result.
Mm-hmm.
But the facts are this. At least Uncle Hotep's bitch was smart enough to get the bag. Y'all bitch was just doing it for cheap thrills so she could feel 16 again. I don't know what the fuck was going on through her head. But she's far more high profile than this bitch.
Yeah.
We didn't even know this bitch existed until she was fucking around with her husband.
That's true.
This bitch didn't even have the decency to fuck around with her husband. So listen, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to hear all that, well, her shit was worse. No.
Yeah.
It's the goddamn same. But sticking up for that degenerate ass shit, since y'all want to be the fucking beacons of motherfucking morality around this bitch, hang everybody the same goddamn way. All right?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second controversy. How dare you, Hotep Jesus?
What'd I do?
How dare you? You hung Unc out to dry over this tramp that he was fucking with. And not no sooner than 4 days later, here you go with Big Titty Boebert. In a far more egregious manner. He just followed the bitch's account. You talking about sitting next to her in the theaters. You got thumbnails of such. How dare you, Hotep Jesus?
Is this the tweet you talking about? Where lady says, I will always stand with Lauren Boebert. Will you? And I said, I stand with Lauren Boebert. I also would love to sit with her.
That's the one. That's the one. I hope Unc is listening. So you got charges, brother. You got charges today.
Listen. Mine is better. Mine is forgivable. Unc's is not forgivable. Because I did mine in broad daylight. Unc tried to sneak behind our back and follow that chick. If it wasn't for you, we had to uncover it. Mine is just wholesome grifting. It's wholesome grifting. It's not thirst. It's wholesome grifting. It's also engagement farming. This is one of my attempts at engagement farming. How many retweets I got on this? I think Scott Adams retweeted this. I got 165 reposts on this.
Listen, I'm not who you need to tell this to. You need to save your defense for Thursday, brother. I'm just the one handing down the indictment. That's it.
They done turned you into the DA? Hotep is staying DA, Hotep Goldstein.
There has to be equal justice across the board. There are no favorites in our system, unlike the American one. All right? There is no double standard of justice here. Everybody's equal.
Listen, man, I gotta get my grift on, man. This one was wide open. I saw the tweet because I was looking at the Lauren Boebert story. And when I saw the tweet, the line just came to my head. I was like, oh, I got a good joke for this one. I just couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, man.
Listen, truth be told, you beat me to it because I would have said some crazy ass shit like that. All right? and that's a fact. But I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal. All right? That's what I do. I'll break the fuck out the law. I don't give a damn. But you can't be doing this. Not this close to Unc's trial. You had to wait a week. You had to wait a week just like the motherfucking conservatives. If they would have just waited a week after dragging that bitch, if they would have just waited a week for all this dumbass shit they're on today, okay, but it's too close.
Yeah.
It's still right there in the front of the memory.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
At the very least, say that it wasn't a tactful tweet. So, fuck all the thirst trap shit. At the very least, you should be brought up on charges of an untactful tweet.
Sonny Johnson gave me hell for that. Shout out to Dolomite for the artwork. Shout out to Dolomite for artwork. Turns into the thumbnail of the day. Appreciate that good work from the community. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if charges stick Thursday.
Yes, we will. That's all I pretty much got today. Shout out to Big Titty Boebert. Shout out to the fucking broad who's fucking with Uncle Hotep. Also, special shout out to fucking Bryson Gray going full Lupe Fiasco on me and turning down my fucking offer to debate and whoop his ass on a public stage.
What he said? You ain't got no followers?
Nah, he went with the I don't know enough about the Bible. How the fuck you know what I know? That's just, at least with the followers thing, you could actually see that. That's physical evidence. You trying to dig all up in my brain talking about I don't know something. How the fuck you know what I don't know? All right? That's just like he reaching like a motherfucker to avoid an ass whooping publicly.
Is that the next debate after Strong Dad is Bryson versus you?
It can very well be, but he too goddamn scared. He want to run from the ass whooping. He made a space today, so if anybody wants to, if he recorded it, I'm fairly certain that the shit will just miraculously disappear. But he did say he was recording it. I'm the very first motherfucker on the space. It takes all of 5 minutes for y'all to hear me drag this motherfucker on his own Bible. All right? 5 minutes in. That's all you got to listen. I'm the very first dude who...
I see it right here.
I dragged him with one goddamn question. He kept qualifying his answer, but I clarified. I made him clarify his stance, and then I stomped that shit out. And after that, he just went on and said a bunch of dumbass shit that wasn't completely even remotely relevant to what the fuck I had said.
All right, we're going to have to go look at the clip then. We're going to have to go listen to the tape. Hold on a second. We're going to do this shit right now while I got you.
I don't log you for the better.
You said 5 minutes in?
No iniquity.
I'm not
chain
sure about
Catholics,
the
but
exact
like
time. I just know
what
I'm
it
the
said,
first
which I
person
find
to
to
speak.
do you.
You the first
a
person to
sinner.
speak.
Oh,
Okay.
all that. No, it's ever something.
Let me wait till you.
That and into what? Because test after right your 9-1. That's I'm just like let's just say my. Please request, man. If you start cussing a lot, I usually
There we go. All right, we got you here.
Saying that once you're saved, all right, bro, I'm gonna let you get back to it though.
All right, we about to play it right now.
Okay.
All right, Hotep a bill. Let me see.
That you no longer sin.
I'm saying you no longer willfully sin or practice sin.
So then why is Matthew 18 verses 15 through 20 necessary? That's my question.
And what does that say? Read it for the crowd.
If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. If they still refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen even to the church, treat them as you would a pagan or a tax collector. Truly, I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again, truly, I tell you that if 2 or 3 agree on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with thee.
I thought you was going to only read 2:18, so I wasn't purposely trying to interrupt you, but it was so anticlimactic. I wanted you to read actual Greek, where it doesn't say pagan, it says Gentile, and that was going to be funny to hear you read that. But nonetheless, so let's go over this. I genuinely, and I'm not saying this to be rude, don't know what point you're trying to prove here, so let me get this straight. The Bible is saying in Matthew 18 that if your brother sins, show him his fault. And if he don't listen to you, then you have to take it up another level because he is doing what? Still sinning. Okay, cool. And then you have to take 2 or 3 witnesses. So why would you take 2 or 3 witnesses, Hotep Goldstein, to your brother? What are they attempting to witness?
They are attempting to witness to his sin, but they're also bearing witness because wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, there so is the Lord. Well, that's okay. Just to be clear, the reason it says 2 or 3 witnesses is because that's what the law states. So this is a quote from the law. The law says you have to have 2 or 3 witnesses if you make a claim against somebody. So that's what that is about. So there's 2 or 3 witnesses to make sure that you're not lying about somebody sinning. So we have confirmation now that the person is sinning. And if they still don't listen, you take them to the church. Now you have, now we at the top level because you wanted to keep it on the low, like, bro, come on. But now you take it to the church. And now everybody knows you sinning. And if they continue in sin, you then treat them like a Gentile and a tax collector. How did the Bible treat Gentiles and tax collectors in the Bible, Hotep Goldstein? Jesus himself? We can go to Jesus himself too, just in the Bible, period. How did they treat them? Yeah. Like, how did they view Gentiles and tax collectors? As people that should be saved for the most part. No, sir. They viewed them as dogs. They viewed them as people unworthy, including Jesus himself. You know that lady where it was begging Jesus to save her daughter? At first, Jesus declined to save her daughter because she was a dog. She was a Gentile. So Jesus literally wasn't even going to save her based on that alone. And then she called him Lord, and he was like, okay, your faith is great, so I'll help. Paul, if you read the book of Acts, they were trying to kill Paul because somebody claimed that Paul took a Gentile into a temple. Gentiles weren't even allowed in temples.
during biblical times, sir. So Gentiles and tax collectors were both viewed as evil. Tax collect you were viewed as a sinner just by being a tax collector. So when it says if somebody continue in sin, you treat them like a Gentile or a tax collector, that's literally saying you remove them from the temple. That means you don't even have a discussion with them. So the reason I sort of laughed when you brought up Matthew 18 was not to be rude, is because this verse not only helps my point, it super confirms it.
Listen, you explained nothing there. All you did was, because your initial, and that's why I wanted to clarify for everyone listening, because I already know I can't really convince you of anything. You're perfect, and you can't convince a perfect man of anything.
Hey,
but what I wanted to do,
I am about to
hold
kick you
on,
off.
because
No,
see,
no,
listen,
you off. No side attacks.
Wait,
No
whoa,
side
wait,
attacks.
what happened?
Yeah. Like how did they? Then you have to take 2 or 3 witnesses. Then you have to take. Yeah. Like how did they view Gentiles and tax collectors? That'd be rude. Is because this verse not only helps my point, it super confirms it.
listen, you explained nothing there. All you did was, because your initial, and that's why I wanted to clarify for everyone listening, because I already know I can't really convince you of anything. You're perfect, and you can't convince a perfect man of anything.
Hey,
but what I wanted to do,
I am about to
hold
kick you
on,
off.
because
No,
see,
no,
listen,
you off. No side attacks. No side attacks. You attack the point and you move on. I'm just kicking you off of the rip. That's child games. I didn't call you a name. I didn't try to say you were a stupid person that don't know the Bible, which I could have said and been accurate. I'll bring you back on, but if you do any little side arguments, you a grown man. We don't have moderators. You grown. You.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Yeah, I'm mad I missed that. Yeah, the title of the space says something about, Christians aren't sinners. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's a good clip. Cannon, go ahead, call, yo. Cannon and Steph, you could call in. Cannon and Steph, call in. That was good. I got a good laugh out of that. He said, not on my watch. Let's go back. Cannon, Tari, Steph, call in, man. All right, so NCAA is dominating the trending topics today. What happened with LSU? Because I know Chad's a big LSU fan. Let me see if Chad's a happy camper today. Wait, I forget how to check. Okay, sports. Let's see. That's how you know women run. Look, I'm gonna show you how you know women run Twitter, right? Because when I hit sports, right? What is this? What? Baseball? It's Saturday. Nobody's watching baseball. Nobody's watching the Marlins versus Braves. Literally nobody's watching this. What is going on at Twitter? The WNBA? Who's making decisions at Twitter? Why is the WNBA score popping up at the top? Nobody's watching the WNBA game. I'm going to refresh again. And back to baseball? Wait a second. So when I refresh, you're going to cycle between baseball and the WNBA on NCAA Saturday? This what we doing, Elon? This is what we doing? Yes, there should be sports categories too. Wow. This is insane. This is insane. I just came to check the LSU game score. Popular national football team. And I can't even get the scores. I can't even get the scores right here. The scores should be running. When I scroll down, I should see all scores. I should see all scores, and it should give me subcategories. Trash product. Trash product. I told Jack this shit too. I said, yo, why you ain't got a sports tab to check scores? Like just to check scores. Why you ain't got that? Then he implemented it because Jack used to follow me. I used to send him ideas and shit. And I'd watch him. He'd implement them a couple of months later because it takes time to design and then iterate and whatnot. But what the fuck is going on here? Are you even trying to compete? I'm going to refresh one more time. Maybe I'm crazy. Jason Brace, he said, that's just basic stuff. They didn't even bother. Word. Bro, like common sense would tell you. Common sense would tell you if we go to the trending topics and Mizzou, Georgia, Boston College, Paxton, all these things are NCAA related. NCAA. All these things are NCAA related. But when I go to sports, we get baseball and baseball. Where's the W? They're not even showing the WNBA anymore. Just that's why people be saying Elon is this, Elon is that. Elon's trash. Elon is trash. He's over here trying to figure out, you know, should there be a repost button and all of this shit. Motherfucker, where's the scores for the game? You can't even get sports right? So guess what we got to do? We got to go to a competitor. We got to go to Google. Okay, so LSU won 41-14. I had to leave Twitter to go get the score to the game. Elon. This is simple shit, bro. Jason said at least cycle between all the sports. At the least. Jonah, call in, man. Jonah, call in. Who is this texting me? Hotep and Bill. My name is. I have an idea for expanding the Grift. I will say. When will America explain how right in 1 year that I'm paying this on managing commercial and comedy? Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I have a similar take to that. But I like that. Get Elon on the phone and have them fix this ASAP.
Call from
Jonah, what up, man?
Not you.
Chilling, man. What's good with you?
Not too much. I had already sent you an article that I was going to be referring to, but man, the Epstein thing, they want you focusing on the fact that it was allegedly sex trafficking.
Okay.
Because guess what? I don't know about you, but as far as I've never been with a minor, but I'm going to guess that you don't need a DNA database with a couple 100 million and incentives from the government to have sex with a minor, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, he might have made $1 billion, but that's also because, you know, maybe I'm just spitballing. Maybe he's selling them as product, and then they enjoy the product before they harvest the internals, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, man, that's where everyone worries about. Oh, like, they're doing this, they're doing that. Man, he wasn't making that much money for just that. There's way more to it.
That's the total transactions.
No, I know. But I'm saying there's way more to it than that. You know, like he doesn't need a DNA database. Like even in the article that I sent you, it's like, oh, hey, he's down there in the U.S. Virgin Islands because he can get away with all kinds of data that we wouldn't be able to up here and all this other stuff, right? Now, why was he also? Did he also have an office at Harvard's evolutionary dynamics or evolutionary evolutionary genetics or some shit like that? So he paid for his own office in Harvard for evolutionary genetics. So the paying attention to what his list is just minor. They want you focusing on the list because they don't want you focusing on all the other crimes. But yeah, that was one of the first recordings I did that I usually do every week. So, no, and then on top of that too, did you ever hear about his doomsday conventions? He would actually have these doomsday conventions where he'd bring scientists in from all over the world, and he would be the one in charge of global climate change and all that shit. That back in the day. I'll send you the link right now. But anyway. It's crazy because it's like, man, as long as you're focusing on his list, and that's what I was going to call in, as long as we're focusing on his list, you know, we're ignoring what all the other stuff he did. Oh, I already sent it to prlog.com, whatever one. It talks about how he did several doomsday conferences. So, yeah, he'd bring all these top scientists together, and then, you know, so last year when everyone's saying trust the science, yeah, no, I don't think so. But anyways, yeah, I'll let you go, Hotep build, and again too, like I say, you know, sometimes what they give you enough information to keep you chewing on that information, right? And that's what this guy is. Keep you chewing on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the call, bro.
Later.
All right. John on the check-in. Opinionated Junkie said, what is rock classified as? I don't know. How do we know what that money is actually doing? Human trafficking is kind of broad, is it not? Exactly. It could be paying for venues. It could be buying clothes. It's all related to human trafficking, right? But at some point, we'd like to know what those transactions were, right? And to who. I can't believe Elon can't get the NCAA scores. At least you could probably tweet that to him and he would respond. I'm telling you right now, I can tweet to Elon right now and say, how come you don't have the NCAA scores under the sports tab? And he'll probably won't respond. Let me see if it's on my phone just to make sure I'm not an idiot. Oh, so on the phone, it's even worse. Okay, so on the phone, I have MLB, WNBA, and MLB. Oh, you know what this is? They probably paid to be there. I don't think the NCAA cut the check, and that's why they don't have the sports there. That's probably why. Up True Breed said lame channel. What's a lame channel? My channel? Another channel? What's a lame channel? What's a lame channel? You could call in and tell me how lame I am if you want. I think that's why. I'm going to tweet to Elon anyway and add that tidbit. Here, let's see. All right, so let's go at. I can type it here so you guys can watch me type it. So you're not watching me do it on my phone. Let's go at Elon, right? Let's close that. Let's go here. Let's go at Elon. Okay. NCAA football dominates the trending topics weekly, but the sports tab only shows MLB and WNBA scores. Why is that? My guess is the NBA and MLB have a deal with X. Am I correct? NCAA dominates the trending topics weekly, but the sports tab. Okay. However, comma, the sports tab only shows MLB and WNBA scores. My guess is the NBA and MLB have a deal with X. Am I correct? And I'm going to put W in there because I think the NBA pays for the WNBA post. Let's see what happens. Send it now. And let's see if he responds. You guys can check on that later. Somebody asked, lines closed. Yeah, I closed the line, Steph. Are you supposed to have been call in, bro? Call in tomorrow, man. I'm about to get out of here, man. Call in tomorrow. I'll take calls tomorrow, man. I just closed the phone lines, man. You were supposed to call in like 30 minutes ago, bro. He said the updates seem worse for other apps too. Really weird. Anyway, QR code on the screen to give you damn near half off Master Focus. This is our brain booster. Make sure you tap in. Help me, help you, help me, help you. This is basically for brain restoration and brain health. And we got a 360-degree approach that does include the enteric nervous system. So, yeah, if you want to support the channel, you want to support me, that is the best way to do it. Support my company. I'll see you tomorrow for, well, it's Sunday. I might not grift tomorrow because I think you guys watch Sunday football and I want to be respectful of that. But we'll see. If something crazy happens, I'll tune in. But until then, I'll definitely be here Monday at 2 p.m. Hotep and Bill.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in.
How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand?
You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.